my wonderful people, how are you doing? How have you been? Are you still with me? Are you watching, subscribing? And also do not forget to hit the notification bell to get notified every time we upload a new video. And today I am visiting a dog lover and generally an animal lover. He does a lot more than just love animals. We'll get to that and he'll get to introduce himself and talk more about himself. But kama kawaida, I'm your girl Linda Kenyita and this is Dog TV Kenya, the best documentary channel for all dog lovers. Hussein, how are you? I'm good too. So welcome to our show. I'm going to hand you over the mic and you can introduce yourself and maybe introduce to us to your dogs.
Hi everyone. So my name is Hussain and I am a holistic healing practitioner. So I'll be explaining what it is. So we've recently moved to Nairobi, Kenya with my family, and 4 dogs were a part of my family. They are still a part of my family. So here, as you can see, we have Rosie. She's a Labrador, black Labrador. She's about 10.5 years old now, and she loves playing fetch. So if you give her a ball, she can play the whole day, and next day you'll see her, limping because of soreness. She loves playing fetch. And she's Cherry. She's a German Shepherd mix, and she's about 1.5 years old now, and she's a very intelligent dog. Here we have Lily. He's also 10.5 years old. He's an Indian PARIAH breed. He's one of the local breeds of India, but he has a greyhound mix in him, and he's brindle in color. He's very protective, he's very intelligent, and a very smart dog. And the 4th one also is an Indian PARIAH. He's inside right now, he's not here, and he's 2 years old. Also we have 3 other dogs, sorry. 2 of them are Chowchow breeds, and one is a Havanese Maltese mix. So they are my brother-in-law's dogs. So we are staying here all together in this house, and they've got along pretty well, I must say. Yeah.
Because you came with 4 dogs, you found 3 other dogs around. How has been the interaction so far, and how did you get them to socialize with one another to a point where now they can chill together?
So the most important part of socializing them in this case was that to make sure that they don't meet in packs. So for me, like the 4 dogs that we have, they were already a pack of 2 each, and the 3 here which were already there in here, they're a pack of 3. So when we came here, I made sure that they get chance to meet each other one-on-one. So when, say, Rosie is outside, I brought the other dog Chilo, and they were together outside in the park, sniffing each other, trying to get to know each other, draw boundaries. So that's how I initially socialized them. Made sure that they all the 7 or all the 5, they're not many in number together. And slowly, as the days went by, these 2 are senior dogs. So the younger ones, they understood, okay, now I need to respect their space, give them their own space, and they know how to interact, communicate, and draw boundaries. So eventually we were able to get them to socialize with each other, and they're now, like, you'll see them running around, we don't have to monitor them. They're good with each other. They're obviously when there is a big age gap between dogs, senior dogs, you'll not get them to you'll not see them playing very frequently. So they want their own space, and you'll see that the younger dogs are the ones who will be running around playing, while the senior ones, they're more chilling and cuddles and
We say that when you're getting a dog, and especially like we advise people to get dogs as puppies, and when you get dogs, it's a commitment. Like here we have with your senior dogs, like I would want you to touch a little bit on the care and management of senior dogs.
So according to me, the care and management of senior dogs starts when they are puppies, because what you feed them. So my main important thing is what you're feeding them. Make sure that the food, the diet is accurate. And at a younger age, if you feed them accurately and properly, you'll see that as they grow older, they'll not fall sick very often. So I've seen dogs, I've seen pet parents who feed them things which they are not meant to eat, even salt, sugary items, lot of other things which they should not be eating regularly, like even wheat, the wheat and milk. It's not something they should be eating very frequently, because that in the longer run it causes them health issues, especially gastro issues. So if you feed them the right thing from the younger age, you'll see that they'll be aging very gracefully as they grow up. Obviously, as they grow up, what I suggest is that you make sure that they get proper supplements when they're growing. They get proper, exercise, proper routine. You make sure that they do not gain weight, because as they grow, their activity levels decrease. So you need to also make sure that they do not eat a lot, and they get proper exercise, long walks, if not, because they won't be running around a lot. So they need proper exercise. Then there are different kind of therapies also which help them as they grow older, to make sure their joints, their muscles, they do not deteriorate with age.
And another thing that would be of interest, you moved across countries. Actually, it's not even countries; it's continents with your family dogs. And we have a lot of cases of people leaving their dogs behind. Maybe they do not know where to start, or maybe they care about the environment and how the environment and the change of whether it's going to affect their dogs. What has been your experience with the weather changes and the move and the shift, and the dogs that you came with, and how have they adapted to the weather around?
As per my experience, I believe that weather does not play a very major role when it comes to dogs. Yeah, there are certain specific breeds like huskies, or breeds with long coats. So you can't take them to a place which is very hot. So there are certain breeds like that, but in general, dogs are happy where we take them. So what they want is their pet parent, their family to be there. That's their main priority. When you compare dogs and cats are creatures who get more attached to the place, compared to dogs who get attached to the human beings. So when you're moving, you need to make sure that you take them along. See, I know that sometimes moving abroad or moving to a different continent can get expensive, but then at the end of the day, they are a family. They are a family. Like if you have kids and you have to move to a different country, you won't be thinking of leaving your kid back, or adopting your kid to a new family, right? So it's the same with them. Just I know the transport, the flying, traveling is not that convenient. But if you give yourself some time and if you do your proper research, there are ways of taking them along easily. Like for us also, it took me about 3 months of research. Finally we got, okay, this is the airlines that we are traveling with. We'll fly them as excess baggage, and they're not as cargo. So there are different ways of trying to. So we were able to cut down on the costs there as well. So when you start doing things yourself, you can manage. Bringing 4 dogs was also expensive, but we managed by cutting down costs in different ways. Yeah.
And now we are in a culture where having dogs and living with dogs indoors is a little bit a new concept. And here you are, 7 dogs in-house. How do you manage that as a family? Because it's not just you, but I believe it's the wider family. How do you manage that?
So the reason why we've chosen a space which has an outdoor, a big outdoor space, so that these guys have their own space outdoor to move around during the day. and even at night when required. So, but we are not strict about, okay, you can't come inside, or you can't get on the sofa, you can't get on the bed. How do we manage it? It's important to groom them on time. If you keep them clean all the time, if you make sure that they're combed regularly, so that their fur does not it's not all over the place in the house. So cleanliness is what matters. If you keep them clean and hygienic, your house won't be and obviously you need to keep your house clean every day, and changing bed sheets on time, that's it. Like, it's not difficult. They are very cooperative, and dogs are meant to dogs are creatures who love routine. So if you set a routine, okay, morning time you're outside, in the afternoon while we are working, you come inside, but you sit quietly. It's their nap time, you let them sleep. So once you set a routine for them, they'll follow that, and it makes it easy for you.
When it comes to feeding, I know you touched a little bit on it when I asked about the care of the mature dogs, the senior dogs, but generally, what is your feeding routine? How many times do you feed your dogs? Do you cook for them, or do you feed them store-bought food?
Our dogs have always been on home-cooked food, because I myself and my friend back in India, we've been working together. So he's a nutritionist. He's a canine nutritionist, and we've always believed that home cooked food is the best for them. Now again, when it comes to home cooked food, it's important that it is a balanced diet. It's not that you just give them rice and chicken and that's it. You have to make sure that there are different kinds of proteins, nutrients which are covered in there. That's when home cooked food is better than the packaged food. So for them, they've always been in home cooked food, and we feed them different kind of vegetables along with rice and meat. Like, some of our dogs, they are allergic to chicken. So we've found out through removing one item and trying to figure out what is causing the allergic reaction. So we figured out that two of our dogs, they are allergic to chicken, so they are on turkey meat now. So for them, it's specifically turkey meat that they are having. So yeah, meat is very important in the diet, but you can also supplement it with vegetables, and there are certain other organic supplements, also herbs, that you can add to their food, which obviously when we have some clients who get in touch with us, so we understand what the dog needs, what is the weight of the dog, what are the health conditions. Then we prepare a complete diet chart for the dogs, and then there we mention, okay, this is what you need to feed them, what quantities. We let them know that as well, and then the pet parents follow that. So yeah, that's how, for me also, I follow a very strict diet with them to make sure that they are healthy and they do not gain weight.
What's the importance of ensuring that your dog is not overweight? Because I think some pet parents here want chubby puppies, and they go overboard. Like, touch on that.
So yes, it's very important to maintain their weight from a younger age, because when the fat in the body increases, it starts bringing pressure on the different organs of the body. So they're functioning. I've seen a lot of dogs who are overweight tend to get heart condition very, very quickly at a very young age, because their heart is pumping, working over, exerting more pressure because of their weight. They're not getting proper exercise. Even the joints, dogs with overweight, they tend to have arthritis. So I've had a lot of clients who are whose dogs have arthritis just because they've not maintained their diet, and then the joints, the bones, they tend to suffer. So it's very important that at a younger age itself you keep maintaining their diet. And it's not that if they are fit they look ugly, but they look more masculine and strong. So I prefer, that's what you want. You want them to live long, have a healthy life. You don't want that, for a few years my dog is looking beautiful, chubby, but then later on it suffers from kidney issues, heart conditions, arthritis. So we want to avoid that. So it's important to maintain their weight.
I think we've talked enough about the dogs, or if anything comes up, we'll go to it. But now let's go to you and your profession. Like, explain to us what it is exactly that you do.
Yeah, so I'm a holistic healing practitioner. So I work with humans and animals both, but basically I'll say my life purpose is to work with animals. So I've worked with dogs, I've worked with cats, I've worked with horses, even I've had a few cases of birds and fishes as well. So I'll tell you more about what holistic healing practitioner means. So it's more towards the wellness of a creature, of a living being, in terms of their physical, mental, emotional and spiritual health. So what I do is so we have veterinary who takes care of the physical part, where their health is taken care of. However, when it comes to things like the emotional well-being of the dog or the spiritual well-being, so that's where I come into the picture. So my work is to identify what the animal is going through emotionally, what is it going through spiritually. So physical body is something that we see, right? But we have an energetic body as well. We call it the soul. People call it Ru in different languages. So it's an existing energy system that we have, which helps us function healthily. So my profession is to identify if there are different problems which a dog is going through. It could be a health issue, it could be an emotional issue, it could be a behavioral issue. What is it that is triggering those issues in him or in her, in the dog, in the cat? So when we do sessions, we try to identify those issues and then work on it so that it removes the main condition which is causing the problem, and then we find that the animal improves over time. So it's more based on energy work. So it's through intense meditation. There are different techniques, there are different modalities that I follow, there are different methods of working on them, but eventually the goal is to make sure that they're overall healthy and happy.
Now, when it comes to the physical health of, let's say, any animal, a dog, it's easy to see like a dog is limping or a dog is diarrheaing. Now, when it comes to the mental well-being or the emotional part of it, the spiritual part of it, what are the symptoms? How do I know that my dog is undergoing through a mental situation?
A healthy dog would be one who is, eating well, going like physically is healthy, going for walks, is happy, is not showing any signs of illnesses. Now when it comes to emotional, I believe that the pet parent is very well aware that the dog is having problems, because at the end of the day, when you see a dog as your child, you create that connection. So even as a pet parent, one would have that connection with the dog, and the pet parent would understand, okay, my dog is behaving weird. You start noticing behaviors which are not normal of him, of his, like say for example, if I am to travel somewhere for over the weekend, and when I come back after traveling, I see my dog is behaving weird. That is because of that. Over the weekend I've traveled, the dog emotionally has become a bit depressive, or is sad that I was not there, or is angry with me, is showing tantrums that okay, you went there, now I'll not show love to you, or I'll not come to you easily. So these changes the pet parents can easily associate and understand. It's just that the pet parents don't know what to do. For them it's like, okay, this happens, but then eventually what they don't realize is that these changes in behavior, these changes in emotions, what they're going through, anxiety, it creates anxiety as well. Yeah, when you're traveling, dogs are not okay, or when they've had an incident where the dog is become depressive. Like I've seen some cases where when a family member expires, the dog also it goes into a shell, into that trauma and grievance. So that's when you need such therapy where you can help them come out of that zone. What happens emotionally when a dog is impacted or is on the low side emotionally, when it's not okay, it eventually gets into their physical body. So over time it can trigger some physical health ailments as well. So that's why it's important to identify, okay, my dog is going through some emotional issues, and address that at that time.
I've heard people say that sometimes my emotions as a pet parent may affect the emotions of my pets. How true is that, and how do you get it out of that emotion, or does it have lasting effects to the dogs, my emotions?
Yeah, you got that right. It's very true, because we've had cases where, and if you realize, when you have a dog at home, you'll see that somewhere the dog will reflect certain personality traits of one of the family members. It could be that he's reflecting different traits of different family members as well, but they'll always be, you can identify, okay, this dog, he's behaving like me, or he has these traits like me, if you really observe them properly. So when it comes to personality, now again, there are households where if say I have anger issues, and I'm a very angry person, I don't get along with people, maybe I'm going through depression, I'll see that my dog is also getting impacted because of that. The dog will also become moody, become aggressive, and will show signs of not interested in eating properly, being on his own, not socializing with people, with other dogs. So yes, they do pick up on. So it's more of, you can say, they reflect our energy space. They reflect our personality. They reflect what we are going through. Even there are cases where I've seen when we as pet parents or the family members, we fall sick or have certain health concerns, the similar health concern is then reflected on the dog. So there are cases where I've seen that there was a client whose mother, she was having kidney problems, and she had to go through surgery, and the dog later on developed kidney issues after a couple of weeks. So basically what they do is, they, as dogs, we know that dogs are known to be protective in nature, yeah, right? So but it's not just about physical protection, it's also about spiritual and energetic protection as well. So they try to make sure that as pet owners, as a family, they try to protect us from even things like evil energy, negative energy around the place. They try to protect us, and they take it upon themselves as well. So I've seen a lot of cases where we need to work on the dogs to clear those energies, so that they do not, succumb to it.
Spiritual part of the dog, because I think the first time I've come about spirituality of animals is from you, and that is something that I would want you to expound on, and how the dogs, let's say, come in, how does our spirituality affect the dogs, and even like spiritually, like animals, do they have a spirit, or are they spiritual animals?
Yeah, and animals are, so I'd say they are more at a higher level than humans. That is what I believe. Like, animals spiritually they are more developed, I'll say. We are still learning. As humans, we are still learning. We are in that journey to understand what is life all about, why are we here, what is our purposes. But they are already born with purpose. So when they come to you, so they choose us. It's not us who go and okay, I like this dog, I'll bring him home. No, it's them who choose us. They choose us. They come to our family, to our space with a purpose. So they'll always have a purpose. That why am I in this family, or why am I living with them? So spiritually, they're very aware of what is going on around, and in humans, we all go through a lot of lot of problems in life, be it emotional, be it spiritual. There are cases where people are affected by evil spirits, even evil eye, or even smallest of things, like so they are aware of those things, and they protect you, and they absorb those energies, and try to make sure that it does not impact us as humans. So, and then they tend to fall sick, they have issues. So that's where, like, I remember one of my first cases when I had started back working in about 6 years back. The lady had some evil eye, been impacted by evil eye in her family. Now they had a Labrador. He's no more now, but that time he was about 6 years old, and he was impacted by tick fever. That is what the report said. But then after the tick fever, his recovery was not happening. So it was like relapsing after every 21 days. Proper medication, the drips were being put on, but after 21 days it used to relapse. So this was happening since last 5 to 6 months, and she was like getting no answers. What is going on? Why is he falling sick again and again? Why is it relapsing? And he had become very thin. So that's when one of my friend referred me to her, and she got in touch. We got to know there was a spirit which was attached to that dog, which was not letting it heal. So when we worked on that dog, we released the spirit immediately, like after a week. So it was the third week after the relapse. So she was expecting that I'm scared. She was talking to me, I'm scared the dog will relapse, what will happen. I was telling her that don't panic, relax, it will not happen. He will not fall sick again. Now you just need to do proper medication, give him the treatment, the relapse will not happen. And the dog was fine, he recovered well. After that he's not been having any episodes. Now last year only he because he was 12 years now, so he survived 6 years. So he fell sick again, and he passed away last year. But yeah, he grew up a healthy dog after that as well.
And I think in layman's language, my people, we are going to say that when you have your pets and you have evil attacks, and when I say evil attacks, locally, let me call it witchcraft. If you're being attacked, if kama umefanywa uchawi huko nje, and you have your pets, they will protect you. They will be on the forefront of being attacked, trying to protect you. So you see why it's important to have these animals at home. They do not just attack you from physical thugs, the thugs you see, they also protect you from things that you do not see. We understand? Are we on the same page? Now, 6 years that you've been practicing these, where did the interest come from? Have you always loved animals? Like, how did you get into this?
As a child, I've always been very introvert and very observant of things around me. So I wouldn't say that I used to have psychic abilities at that time, but I was very, so that when you have that sixth sense, that you sense something and it happens. So it used to happen very often when I was a young kid, and I used to enjoy spending time with animals. I never used to go out with friends. People used to make fun of me that, okay, why is he not socializing, why is he not going out? But I used to enjoy my time more with watching birds, feeding them, playing with animals, dogs. So I used to enjoy that more. But obviously as you grow up, you have responsibilities, so that side of it was forgotten. But universe had its ways. I met my better half. She was already into this profession, so she works with humans. And when I got to know about this side of spirituality, where you can work with energies, I was very curious to know how we can do that, and very curious to learn. So she was the one who mentored me and guided me to figure out what is my calling, what is my purpose. So that's when I worked on myself. I worked on through hours of meditation, different techniques, finally to figure out that my calling is working with animals. So that's how eventually, finally, after 1 year of hard practice, I was able to say, okay, I'm ready to professionally take this forward as a holistic healing practitioner for animals. Yeah.
And now, this being a new thing that we are coming across, let's say personally, like I came across this the first day that I met you. So, and you've been here not for more, now it's been a month. Have you had any clients so far?
So I've had a couple of clients. So one was a case of a cat behavior. I'll give you a brief. So the pet parents, what happened is that they had traveled for about a week or so, after which the cat was showing signs of disinterested in food, not eating properly, and they went to the vet. They got a test done. The vet is like, the cat is okay, the cat is healthy. So they were not able to understand why there's been a shift in this behavior. So when they approached me, so I tapped into the energy space of the cat and tried to understand what is causing this change in behavior. So the answer that I got was, in their absence, one of their their employees, she had mistreated the cat badly in their absence. So they were like, okay, my employees, they'll take care of the cat well. So they were not aware of this thing. And though they had cameras, but they never bothered to check, because you won't think, okay, she's so good with my cat in my presence, I don't think she'll do anything of that sort, right? But when I got into that zone and when I checked, I got the answer that she's been mistreated. Now, obviously, I did not get the answer of by whom. So I gave them the thing, okay, when you were away, she's been mistreated. So you need to figure out by whom. So then when they got in touch with, they tried to figure out, then they thought, let us check the cameras. And they found proof. So that was a big eye-opener for them. Okay, wow, how did the cat tell you that? Because nobody knew about it. So that's one of the case. The second case was, again, recently, few days back only. One of the dogs was missing since May 13. So this lady, she got to know about me from one of the Facebook groups, and she got in touch with me, and she told me that the dog has been missing. She gave me the information that I asked for. Then we did a session to figure out what has happened, what is it that I'm picking up on. Can I give her some some clues to the location as well? So I did the session, got to know that the dog is with somebody who has found the dog and taken the dog in, and is thinking of what to do with the dog, to sell it off, though he's taking care of the dog, but he does not know, or is not sure of keeping the dog. So he wanted to sell the dog. The dog is kept in a room. I gave her some cues about the location as well. Then eventually, the day I did the session, the next day I got the message from the lady with the photograph that that the dog is back home. And she told me that everything that you shared was accurate, just that one of the distance was something that was not accurate, but it's okay. At least she was very happy that the energies helped the dog come back home, because it was almost a month, and then she was really worried about the dog.
Talk to somebody who's out there, even a kid who might be watching us, and they are passionate about animals.
I believe it's very normal to have a special connection to animals, because at the end of the day, every living being is is a creature. Every animal is a living being as well, right? It's just that we have segregated ourselves as the superior amongst all. Like humans, we are superior. That's what we think. But eventually, every animal, be it bird, I've seen people who talk to birds, and for them, the bird is like their child. So it's normal. It's nothing to be, ashamed of, or you feel that people will judge you. Just do not. You don't need to care about people judging you. I believe it's your right and it's your choice to, have that connection with animals. And yeah, if it's something that as a child or at a younger age you feel you want to associate more with animals, go spend time at the shelters, spend more time, volunteer there, take care of the dogs there, the cats there. There are horses as well, there are other animals as well. That will give you that, it will give you that emotional freedom and peace from within. And that's how you'll build a relationship with them. And eventually, when you feel you are ready to bring home a dog or a cat or an animal to take care of them, yeah, my piece of advice: do that only when you are ready to, dedicate. Say if it's a dog, dedicate 10 to 15 years of your life to them. Then only get a dog home. Else, forget about it. You can go to the shelters, you can go to your friends, you can go to the parks, dog parks, or go to dog walks and meet the dogs, play with them. But if you feel you're not ready to take the responsibility, then I'd say please wait. Once you're ready, you can bring home a dog or a cat.
You heard for yourself, people. I hope you've taken notes. I hope you've learned something new, because every day there's something to learn. And before I sign out, you had mentioned something to do with muscle therapies when it comes to older dogs. Can you touch a little bit on that?
So there is a particular therapy that I practice, which I work through the soft tissues. So below the skin we have the soft tissue. So there is a technique of maneuvering them all over the body for dogs and small animals, even horses. So when you maneuver them in a particular way, it's not exactly a massage therapy, but it's more to do with working on the soft tissues. So it helps with animals which are going through pain, any kind of pain, be it muscular pain, be it joint pain, dogs and animals with arthritis, older dogs. It's very good it's a management therapy where it helps them recover from these ailments. I've also seen cases where we've had nerve issues, also certain gastro issues as well, where this therapy complements the recovery of these ailments. So it's an overall therapy which improves the blood circulation all over the body. It improves the muscular vitality of the body. So especially with arthritis, I've had a lot of cases where they can be taken off painkillers and anti-inflammatory if the therapy is done on a regular basis. And I've seen, like the vets have seen that the dosage is reduced, and there comes a time where they're taken off medication completely, and then we do a monthly or quarterly maintenance therapy for them, so that they do not have to get back to medication. So for older dogs, it's a miracle thing, and for younger, like nowadays we see a lot of young dogs also having hip dysplasia issues, having joint issues. So it really works wonders for them as well. Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm thinking, if you have a dog at home that has been having challenging health issues, maybe you've picked up point or two, and maybe you can reach out to Hussein here. Hussein, now if people want to reach out to you, how do they find you?
So I'm easily available and approachable through my Facebook and Instagram pages. You can reach me on there. Then from there I share my number, and then we can have a word over WhatsApp or over the call. If you want to search me on Facebook or Instagram, you can search by Hussein Animal Psychic _ Healing Practitioner. So when you search by that, you'll be able to reach me there.
And there you have it. You have a solution for your pet's ailing conditions that you've been trying to solve. So there you go. And also be on checkout. We said like your emotions will also affect the emotions of your pet. How you treat your pet will reflect on their emotions, and what they reflect on their emotions, if you do not solve it, can be reflected to their physical well-being. So take care of your pets, you people, and it's been wonderful. I hope you've watched till the end. I hope you've subscribed by now. And also, do not forget to hit that notification bell to get notified every time we upload a new video. I'm your girl, Linda Kenyita, and this is Dog TV Kenya, the best documentary channel for all dog lovers. And also, if you'd like to partner with us, do not forget that you can always send us an email via kenyadogtv@gmail.com, and also you can reach out to us through our social media handles, that is Dog TV Kenya everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, any other social media. See you in the next one. Bye.